Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Susie and my channel is called Light Fragments Oracle. I'm so happy that you are here, but more importantly, I'm happy that I'm here. It has been 6 weeks since I created a video, and there are many reasons for this. Basically, every summer, my husband gets 3 one-week vacations. And he takes them each week separately. So he took one the beginning of July, another one the beginning of August, another one towards the end of August into Labor Day weekend. And so I typically don't do any videos during that time, not to forget to mention that he has had a lot of things going on with himself, as well as I'm still going to appointments post breast cancer. Still cancer-free, praise the Lord. And so in between all of that and then ebbing back into work, which I did. I probably have worked 4 full weeks now since I cut back my clientele. So it's considered a full week without doubling up jobs. And I have done it since I've been recuperating, but it wipes me out totally. Other than that, I'm doing really well. I just found out from my physical therapist that I can go every other week for a couple of times and then once a month. So the swelling is going down. The feeling is returning in my arm. It's very slow, but it is happening. And so I'm really grateful for that. Yeah, I mean, we didn't really go anywhere special. We did some day trips up into Vermont. We ate really well. We went mini golfing. We tried to stay close to home because of my elder dog, Teddy. And Teddy, he's losing his hearing and his eyesight. And then for 28 days this summer, he was on antibiotics for a pretty bad infection. So there's that. And I had decided months ago that I was going to prioritize my health. I was going to prioritize still doing as much as I could do without jeopardizing myself and acting like a robot. And I just have to tell you, you guys, if you don't know me, or you're just new here, or even if you think you know me from being on my channel, I have always been a driven type of person. I would do so much around my house, and then I would go to work, and then I would take care of my family, and now that they're all gone, I take care of my husband and my pets, and I just would be on autopilot all the time. And I do believe that when we are like that, and we do not learn how to restructure ourselves, we can make ourselves sick. Or if we are going to get sick, or we're going to get some sort of condition, that will contribute to it. It will not make it better. So that's really everything in a nutshell. I could go on and on and on about it, but I'm so happy to be back. Right now, my daughter's coming home next week, and so you might not see another video for 2 weeks, but I'm getting back into the swing of doing multiple videos. A big thank you to City Beauty for being unbelievably patient with me. They sent me out some birthday products, and my birthday was the end of July, and here it is mid-September, and I still have not shown the products, and that's what I'm going to do right now. I have a list of these products and what they cost. You can go down into the description and use my affiliate code. Some of these items I have used already, and I absolutely love them. As a matter of fact, I am going to be using one of these products in place of my very favorite product that I've been using for approximately 5 years. So let's get started. The first product that I want to talk to you guys about is the Invisicrepe Body Balm. And this is $67. Now the jar is huge. It's huge. Look at it in the palm of my hand for $67. There's a protective cover. I can't get it off. Not only that, but I developed a problem with one of my fingers. See, you can see my finger swipes in here. I've been using it. This Invisicrepe, what I do is I put it on after I get out of the shower. And here we are, we're getting into winter months. I'm not sweating as much. So I may not take a shower every day. I may just wash up. And I will still apply this on dry skin. It's amazing. Now, I did not put any on this morning. I had an appointment this morning. But what I'm going to do is my arms are perfectly clear. They have nothing on them. I did not put any cream on them. And I'm going to rub a little bit of this on so that you can see. I put this on my arms and also on my legs. And by the way, there are healing components in this Invisicrepe. For instance, if I take a shower in the morning and I put this on, the next morning, and I don't take a shower in the evening, the next morning, this will still feel amazing on my skin. It's not sticky. It sinks right in. Now, my elbows, as I age, I take a little bit more and put this on my elbows. Okay, so you want to target the areas of your body that look crepey. The skin looks crepey. For me, it's more my forearms and my legs. That's really what looks the crepiest on my body. Let me do the other arm. And you do not need a lot. It spreads very easily, which means, you know, especially if your body is wet or damp, you will be able to have this jar for a while. And for $67, that's a steal. The reason that I'm saying that it's a steal is because I have been pricing creams. The cream that I used to use on my arms and my legs, and I'm not talking about Vaseline Intensive Care, okay? I had purchased a really great body cream. It cost me about, I'd say $30 for a tube. All right, I much prefer the jar. That way I can see exactly how much I have inside the jar. It is recyclable, and all of these products that I'm showing you are Leaping Bunny certified. So they're cruelty free. So this goes for $67. I highly recommend it. You can use my affiliate code if you wish in the description. The next product, this has become like the love of my life. This is the Gentle Glow Nourishing Cleanser. I have a fear of cleansers, trying new cleansers. I've only tried a couple so far. they've been okay, or I don't think they've done a good job. They've just been okay, or I don't think they've done a good job. I did finish up the little sample tubes that I had so I could throw it away. This clarifies and restores your skin. And I have got to say, it surpasses the cleanser that I've been using for 5 years. It makes my skin feel so clean and so wonderful. I do not break out. It doesn't dry out my skin. This is $44. And the cleanser that I purchased cost me about $37. So really not that big of a difference in the price, but you get way more fluid ounces in this than the one that I used to purchase. Love this cleanser. I'm still using the rest of my old cleansers, but in between I've been trying this because I wanted to sample it. $44, my friends. Unbelievable. Gentle Glow Nourishing Cleanser is a lightweight cleansing solution that removes dirt, oil, makeup, and other impurities to help balance the skin's microbiome and create a visibly softer, smoother appearance. Now, it comes out like a gel, but it foams up and it just cuts through makeup. I use one of those little silicone scrubby things gently, but it takes everything off. It's so amazing. My recommendation is, if you are going to purchase anything, purchase this from City Beauty. This is an amazing cleanser. So, what else? They sent me the Barrier Rescue Firming Night Cream, which I've shown you guys that. So they sent me another one. I've already shown it to you. I use it at night. I love it. I also use another night cream. What I've been doing with the other night cream is that I've been using it during the day, in the morning too. And I just put a little bit of it in the palm of my hand. I take hot water from the tap and I rub it over, the cream itself, and then I lightly put it on my skin. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with breaking out, nothing. My second favorite product, actually I love all three of these products, but my second favorite product is the Brightening Eye Cream. So I haven't used this in about a month. I got this the end of July. I haven't used this in about a month because, like I told you, I've been busy. And now I'm back on track. The cleanser, yes, I use that, I use my other cleanser, but this cleanser will be the one that I'm using, and I use that all the time to take off my makeup. But this Brightening Eye Cream is truly amazing. It has a pump. It has a little lid. And this is $72. It is pricey. Like I said, I have not been faithfully using it. When I first got it from the end of July, or when did they send it to me? Probably halfway through July, I started testing it, and then a little bit into August. What I can tell you about this is you don't need a lot of it. Come on. Literally, this is all you need to go under your eye. Frankly, this is enough for 2 eyes. But they tell you to use a pea-sized amount for both eyes. So you take a pea-sized amount out, rub your fingers together, and put it under your eyes. And this, I do this at night and in the morning when I use it. When I was using it, that's what I did. And I will be back on track to use that product. So a big thank you to City Beauty for being patient with me. I love your products. I have 2 brand new lippies that came out. Raspberry, which I'll show you the colors. I think I showed you raspberry already. I haven't gotten the other one in the mail yet. So we've got raspberry. I think it's apple cider or something like that. And I don't, if I have it, it's probably in my purse. And this one is cherry. Cherry is too dark for me. But if you like a red lipstick that will stain. So we've got cherry and we've got raspberry. I have raspberry on right now. And the cherry does leave a little stain on your lips, which is kind of nice, actually. All right, I have a couple more products that I wanted to show you. I do not have any foundation on. I did my eyes, my eyebrows. I'm going to put my foundation on and talk to you about something that I've really been doing a lot of thinking about. So the next product that I purchased, I have a friend. She's also a customer of mine. She wears Beautiful by Estee Lauder. And I've always loved the smell of this perfume. I just was waiting to run out of my other very favorite perfume from Lancome, La Vie Belle. And I just ran out of my big bottle. I still have this much left in my pocketbook spray. So I decided to splurge and get myself Beautiful from Estee Lauder. And this is just the nicest smelling perfume. There's something really clean about it. It's a clean smell. For me, when I smell it on my friend, and I have another friend who's deceased who also used to wear it, I could smell them a mile away, but it wasn't like this overpowering smell. So I've been wearing this periodically. I wanted to finish up my other little vial that I have. So that was a splurge. That made me feel, that was my gift to myself for ringing the bell after radiation and for my birthday. The other item that I purchased some makeup brushes because I'm going to be going through my makeup brushes again, and I'm going to be getting rid of more makeup brushes that I just don't use. And I'm only going to keep duplicates of the ones that I use a lot of, similar brushes, and just the ones that I use. So it's unnecessary. Like, for instance, this brush right here. I think this is an e.l.f. Yeah, this is an e.l.f. powder brush. This is too big for me. I don't ever use anything like this. So I'm going to wash these up. I might be able to donate them. But I got these brushes off of Amazon. And they're by Tio Yal. I will put it in the description. And so what you do is you get 3 brushes. You get 170S, which is a foundation brush, or you could use it for your blush, but it's designed for foundation. The next brush is for, you can also use this for foundation. Now, what I'm finding out is a lot of people like to use smaller brushes for their foundation. And I've been watching videos on this, and it's really quite interesting. But you can use this for concealer. And this smaller brush, you can also use this for concealer, or you can use it if you want a one-and-done stripe eyeshadow. So I thought that these were really cool. There's nothing on the box, so I'm going to have to put the description in the description box so you guys can read about these. These brushes were a suggestion from another content creator, and I like watching her because she doesn't spend gobs and gobs of money, and she gives you an honest opinion. So if she liked them, I figured that I would like them too. Lastly, the item that I purchased over and over again are my nails. So I just cut all of my nails down all the way. And I have gotten so many compliments on these nails. And these nails have lasted me, like they will last me well over a week. My nails start growing out before they even come off. And these are the no glue manis. They are self, you use the little sticky thing on your nail. This is them. And if you look at them, they have a sheen to them. They have a glitter and they're white. And typically what I do is I cut these down so I can still type fast and everything. I have gotten so many compliments on these. Color FX by Impress. And you get 30 nails, pure fit, super slim for a natural look and comfort. So when you put them on, you know how some of these nails will kind of almost go over to the side? These fit perfectly on the nail. And when you slide them on, you can even tuck them a little bit under your cuticle. Not so it hurts, but just a little bit if you push your cuticles back. And so you can get quite a few days where they're not catching on your hair or catching on anything. And yeah, I absolutely love these. Love these. They make different colors and different styles. I got mine at Walmart. That's where I got mine. Okay, I'm going to take my glasses off. And I wanted to talk to you guys about something that I learned and something that I am learning. And basically, I thought I was always really good at this, but I really wasn't. By the way, I'm using the Max Factor X Miracle Touch Cream to Liquid Foundation in Bronze. I've been using this for a month now. I mean, you could really tell too, because you can really see the divot in it. It looks like a natural tan. And so I've been using this, not with the little sponge, but with a brush. So let me put my hair back. My bangs are growing out. I want to talk to you guys today about the subject of what it means to surrender. What does it mean to surrender to your circumstances? What does it mean to surrender to a situation? What does it mean to surrender in a heated discussion? And then, once surrendered, how do you accept what you've surrendered? Really difficult topic, correct? So let me put some of this on. I think I remember telling you guys that when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I really didn't want to talk to anybody for about a month. I mean, of course I told my family, right? Of course I told my family, I told some good friends. But I really didn't put it on social media right away. I really didn't talk to you guys about it in here right away. And that was because I really needed time to process the fear, what I was going to do. There was a whole month where I really didn't know much. So it was kind of like hanging over my head. And how I was going to go about surrendering myself to the situation without being fearful. And that is such a hard thing to do. It's so hard because, fear is a byproduct of experiencing something we don't know, right? Like, it's 2:00 in the morning and somebody bangs on your door. I mean, your heart starts pounding. You don't know who this person is and what in the heck would they be doing banging on my door at 2:00 in the morning. And so your first thing that you do is panic. And then anxiety sets in. Well, finding out something about your health or a tragic situation or a circumstance that you have absolutely no control over happening, like, you'd like to go back to bed and wake up the next morning and pretend it didn't exist. Now you're in this space of the unknown, and you want to get back to a space where you can be at peace with whatever it is that you need to be at peace about. And that takes so much mental energy. Mentally processing something takes so much energy. It really does. In fact, I feel that mental exhaustion is worse than physical exhaustion. Because, physical exhaustion, a good night's sleep or a good weekend's worth of sleep, and you're back to your normal self. But with mental exhaustion, if you have an ongoing situation, it's going to be ongoing that you're mentally thinking about it. And so learning how to shut your brain off while still dealing is a very difficult thing to do. So how did I do that? Well, to be quite honest, I offered it all up to God. I offered it all up to God because I knew that God was in control of my circumstances. I knew that God knew more than I did about the situation. I prayed for all the right people to be put in my path, groups to join. I prayed for, that my customers, would be good about it. I prayed and prayed and prayed. I did not stop praying. And I prayed in quiet. When I was cooking, I prayed. When I was doing dishes, I prayed. And so, in my experience, because there are other people's experiences that are and were so much more difficult than mine. But in my experience, I did not have peace until I had surrendered my situation to God. I just said, here it is, God. I trust you. And it's not just with the breast cancer. I have done this so many times in my life. And I honestly don't know where I would be without God in my life. I think I would be fumbling all over the place. I truly do. because God is the great physician. So the second aspect of that is accepting. Because, you know, I don't know about you guys, but part of me would get to this point where I would be like, geez, you know, this person over here, you know, why isn't this happening to them? I mean, why is this happening to me? But the surrendering process kind of took care of that, because why not me? Why not me? It can happen to anybody at any time. Worse. So the second part of the surrendering is the accepting. And interestingly enough, oh, my bangs, hold on. So one of my scripture verses that I've memorized from years ago in the Bible is, trust in the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and lean not on your own understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct thy paths. And so I'm sure that there are, you know, newer versions of that verse, but I kept repeating that. And I also believe in angels. And so I would ask the angels, you know, the messengers of God, to go to God and bring my requests and talk to God about my situation. But then I reflect on what happened last week with the death of Charlie Kirk. And I was devastated. And I remember I was, you know, in and out of the kitchen because it was around dinner time. Both my husband and I worked that day, and my husband was watching the news, and he said, "Hey, Susie, don't we know this guy?" And I went, "Oh my God, that's Charlie Kirk. Yes, we know him." We know of him. We didn't know him personally, and we've watched him. And I was devastated. It's like encompassed my life since last week, because he is 1 year older than my son is going to be in November. And he has the same kind of personality as my son. And I thought to myself, this is nuts. This is nuts that you cannot speak your mind in public or gain popularity or a following without the threat of somebody killing you. It boggles my mind. I don't understand that kind of hate. Now, I'm not saying I've never had hate. I'm not saying that I've never experienced the emotion. But it's wrong. I'm sorry, it's wrong. If you find yourself getting to that point in your life where you hate that much, you got to talk to somebody. You've got to go see somebody. You've got to get that. You've got to let people know that, you know, because it's wrong. It's wrong to have that kind of emotion in your body, because it will destroy your mind and your heart. So, you know, I just cannot get over how that's okay. Because somebody doesn't like the platform that Charlie created. Maybe they were anti-Christian, or maybe they, did have a mental illness, or maybe they just didn't like what he was talking about, but that is no reason to kill somebody. Let people believe what they want. Leave them alone. Be concerned about your own life and how you're going to get from point A to point B. How you're going to be a more healthy, wholesome, loving, kind human being. So, what struck me, bottom line, is that my first husband passed away at 37 years old. Charlie Kirk was 31. My husband passed away from a heart condition. Charlie was murdered. Left behind a wife who loved him dearly and 2 small children who aren't even going to know who he is. I mean, they'll grow up, they'll see pictures. I'm sure Charlie's wife will explain to them what kind of a person. There are videos of him. But when my husband died, we didn't have social media. We didn't have videos like this. And so my youngest daughter can't even bring him up in her brain. And she was 6 when he died. She's seen pictures. She knows what we've said. And so the point that I'm trying to make is, I am sure that there are many of you out there, all of you in fact, that have had someone close to you pass away, and they didn't have the notoriety that Charlie Kirk had. But they were close to you, and they loved you, and you loved them. How would you feel if somebody was smearing the person that you loved all over the place? But that is where we are today. So, we can surrender our lives to an omnipotent God and know that God is in control, while we're in control of ourselves. And I think it's important to constantly be checking our inner person, our inner child, if you will, to see if our thoughts match up with our actions. And if our thoughts need to be tabled, or the actions that come from those thoughts will not be good. And that could even be as small as saying something hateful to somebody. You're not killing them, but you're still doing something that isn't nice. And we've all been in that kind of predicament before. We've all been there. So, if you have it in your heart today, please pray for the family and loved ones of Charlie Kirk. And on the topic of acceptance, well, I don't have to accept that this happened. Charlie wasn't my husband. But I'm accepting that we live in a different world, where something like this can so easily take place. And I'm accepting that I'm going to do everything that I can as a person, child of God, that will help make the world a better place. Because that's all I can really do right now. So, my friends, the next time I come on, I have a product that I want to share with you. It's for dark circles. I'm not going to share it today. And I think I'm going to call it a day. Be well, be blessed, be beautiful, because you are. Because there is nobody else on the planet like you. You are loved. And you would be missed if you were not here. And that's how we have to look when we have compassion and sympathy and empathy for other people. That's how we need to think. Charlie was somebody's husband, father, son, sibling, friend, and so are you. So are you. And above all, God loves you more than anything, more than you can even imagine. So, until we see each other again, take care. Bye-bye. Bye, my beautiful friends. Good to be back.